Behind me is a dream that I had. It was on my birthday, 2011. God gives me real special ones on my birthday sometimes, and this one I believed was prophesying, I didn't know at the time, but I know now, was prophesying the birth, the virgin sign that would be seen in heaven. That sign in the actual skies in the heavens wasn't seen until 23rd of September 2017. So it was very important. But I wanted to show you, I don't know how many of you out there follow the, the movement, the 17th letter that I haven't got my little thingy here, that I can't mention, which just shows you how real it is. Okay, look it up if you don't know about it, but fight all the disinformation. So I'm going to take you through one of my Substacks with a Q proof, which brought my eyes to this. So this video that I had, you can look it up. It's there's a video that I made of one of my trips down to Queenstown, where I saw in this gallery, the Stark Gallery, this hideous art display, and I just thought it was them, just really sticking it in your face. But from what I have seen on this Q post, I now actually have hope to think that this actually was a message from the White Hats, and that this guy here, the message he's giving, 14th of March, that was prophesying, that was the warning to the Christchurch attack, and when he was in New Zealand. So this is John Podesta, if you don't know, who's one of Hillary Clinton's top advisors, and you know what, man who likes to do terrible things to children. But here we have him here in his cape defender, his cape shirt with his private parts hanging down rather disgustingly. But what I realised after I saw the picture of John McCain, who they call No Name on Q, sorry about that, was how his hands are hanging. And the actual picture shows him. I just wanted to put these two together so that you could see it is most definitely him. Look at the dent. Look at the highlight here on his forehead, there with the indent there, and then this line of light there. So they're making a real point of drawing him, this crooked nose, crooked long hook nose, to let you know that this is definitely the one and the same man. But what's interesting, which I had never noticed before, is that in this picture, and I'll show you in the movie video, that he's actually hanging. His feet are not on the floor, and also you can see from his hands, that's hardly the sort of stand he would take when he was going to go in and do terrible things to children. His hands are also hanging there, as if maybe on a meat hook or something like that, or just hanging. Okay, excuse me. So now I'm going to take you back here, hopefully to the actual, to the proofs. So here we have, you see here, McCain doing the same movement. I never realised, of course, that's the sign. That was what Podesta was doing. For the hands up, I give up, surrender. So I'll just play this little bit, get you in the feel of it.
This particular picture was back from like 2009. It was just something that Q was referencing, look for McCain news. There's a reason why I chose this picture. It will make more sense as we go. So then John McCain passes away. John McCain, who had a Playboy image, blah, 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 blah. He had brain cancer. He was 81. John McCain's office said in a statement that John McCain died at 4:28 p.m. He was announced July 19, 2017, that he had some sort of brain tumor. So John McCain has passed away August 25th, 2018 at 4:28 p.m. So what Q says here is that it's Q 1933, and Q has given us a little more of a heads up of what just occurred. So this is August 26, 2018, and Q says suicide weekend, hands up. That 30 again in the kill brackets, 0.28 in the kill bracket. Impossible, coincidence, we are in control, big week ahead. And again, this was in reference to what we just read as far as the news from August 25th, 2018 about John McCain's passing. And we're going to explain what Q meant in all this in the next slide. Okay, so let's take this step by step, and it's very important. So on that Q post that I showed earlier, Q 1706, that was on July 25th.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, that's the reference to this. So this, as I just said, that this was 2017, so September. So the first posting of this, which they're going to talk about, was like 6 weeks afterwards in November. And he takes you right back to it. So I probably won't be able to keep this on the old, what Tubi, because they've just mentioned the terrible name all the time, so it'll get taken down. So I'll put it onto my Rumble anyway. I'll carry on, and hopefully I'll try, but otherwise I'll have to do a short one. Hang on.
So McCain passed August 25th. So there's your 30. July 25th to August 25th, Q gave us exactly a 30-day heads up. And Q posted this, Q dropped 1706 at 7:28 p.m. And when did McCain pass away? He passed away at exactly 4:28 p.m. So in other words, when Q made this post, he was showing you John McCain in the surrender hands. He gave us 30 days advance, and he gave us the minute mark, and exactly 30 days later, at the 28th minute, he passed away, okay? Yet there's more. So remember I said to put in your memory bank, every dog has its day. Well, like I said, John McCain passed away on August 25th. Well, just hours later, on August 26th, that Sunday, August 26th, 2018, what day was it? Just happened to be International Dog Day. So another connection.
Okay, so
So here's what the Anon wrote. Please don't let No Name, meaning McCain, off the hook. He is a disgrace to veterans across this great country, and he needs to be held accountable. And Q replied, no name action, every dog has its day. And then just remember that. So let's...
Okay, so now I'll just show you this one as well.
Right, he's talking about, well, what was he talking about? He's talking about the largest arms that we have, right? So it also kind of comes into the moment that we're headed towards with the precipice, if you will.
It kind of just circles right back around. And here...
Okay.
So, and this is one of my all-time, if not my all-time favorite Q proof. Why don't you go ahead, Joe?
Is it your tippy top favorite absolute?
I think it might be my tippy top favorite Q proof. Yes.
I think by the time we're finished with this segment, if it was like number 2, I think it would be number 1. So let's get into it. So here, if you're not familiar with that look and feel of that text, that's 8chan. So this was just a regular Anon who posted on the 8chan board on January 29th, 2018. Maybe Q can work in the phrase tip top in the State of the Union as a shout out to the board, meaning the 8chan board. So Anon wrote this trying to nudge Q and Trump to give us a shout out, if you will. Didn't happen at the State of the Union address, but just a few months later, here's what happened.
Well, welcome to the 2018 White House Easter egg roll. So many people, are supposed to be pouring the weather It was supposed to be very rainy and nasty and cold and windy. And look what we have. Perfect weather. Perfect weather. Beautiful weather. Thank you all for being here, folks. Thank you all. I want to really thank the First Lady, Melania, who has done an incredible job. She worked so hard on this event, and so I want to thank you. That's good. Also, I want to thank the White House Historical Association and all of the people that worked so hard with Melania, with everybody to keep this incredible house or building or whatever you want to call it, because there really is no name for it. It is special. And we keep it in tip-top shape. We call it sometimes tippy-top shape. And it's a great, great place. It's an honor to have everybody on behalf of the Trump family, many of whom are with us right here in the audience. I just want to thank you. This is a special year. Our country is doing great. You look at the economy, you look at what's happening. Nothing's ever easy, but we have never had an economy like we have right now, and we're going to make it bigger and better and stronger. Our military is now at a level, will soon be at a level that it's never been before. It's, you see what's happening, and you see what's happening with funding. The funding of our military was so important, and so many military people are with us today. So just think of $700 billion, because that's all going into our military this year. So I want to thank you all for being here. The band, unbelievable. I love you people. I hear them a lot. They're as talented as anybody and any players anywhere. So thank you very much. And now I'm going to come down and we're going to watch this roll. Thank you all and have a great time. Thank you. Happy Easter. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, you can't make it up. I mean, that is just banger right on. So Trump totally confirms this request. You can't make it up. He comes right out. He says tip top and makes a real emphasis. And he's not just saying this with emphasis. He happens to be next to this, yeah, it was Easter. It was this crazy.
Okay, so here's another one.
Okay, so Q1.
Okay, so this one here, and if you haven't understood, I'm sure that a lot of you probably don't know your Bible. So I'll tell you what this is all about. So this was the birth, okay? So this is the Revelation 12 sign, okay? Revelation 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and to his throne. Okay, so the first fulfillment of this was Jesus. This is when it happened, and the same sign was seen again in 2017. So I'm saying that this first sign, that they did this on the old, what do you call it, star, these star things. And the only other, this is the sign of the Messiah, came, and it was repeated again here. The only time that revelation, the Virgo, with the crown and the sun under her feet. So this dream that I had here, isn't relaying the exact sign. It is saying what the sign is, So in my dream, I was her. And these angels started the song. It was like the most important song they had ever done, and they were in the corner, and it was called the Song of Messiah, which had never been sung. And I did many videos of that kind of thing way back then, as the Lord was showing me, because of course I didn't know what it all meant either. And but I'm telling you that Trump is that new birth, that new Messiah that has come, and it started then. And this movement is, as God said, he comes in the clouds. Anon and Anon is Hebrew in clouds. So the Anon movement that is behind this Q movement is the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, and it's raising up a people full of faith, raising up a people that are believing in the plan, and Jesus said his last words were, nevertheless, when the Son of Man returns, will he find faith on the earth? And so that's what this is about. That's what the birth is, and that's why it's so dangerous. So I'm just going to give you this one other proof that they've got, and I will, first of all, I'll actually go up close and just read it out to you so that you can find out, because it's so banned, there's no mention of this can be made on the YouTube. So this is Stormy Patriot Joe's newsletter. Okay, so these are, there's actually a group of them, and if you go there, so they're called a Substack. So I'll just show you this one here. You see this one here, they've got a picture of the president, Kushner, all these people here, and they are all got their fingers up, and it makes that sign here. And it goes back to JFK Senior, whose grave also was in that shape. So here's another.
154, dated November 14th, 2017. So we're only about 3 weeks into the Q movement when this was posted, okay? So typical Q post talking about different topics, but on the bottom, he puts the Our Father prayer. So when it was posted, we just thought that, Q was signing off with the Our Father. There wasn't really any kind of other meaning into it, that the Q team was just giving us a prayer at the end of it. Okay, but look what happens next. December 8th, 2017, so about 3 weeks later from when Q gave us the Our Father, and you can Google it yourself, you won't find any previous mentions to this change. Out of nowhere, 3 weeks later from that Q post, Pope Francis suggests that he's going to change the words to the Lord's Prayer, and that he's not pleased with the part about temptation, and he was going to change the Lord's Prayer, that he didn't think it was a good translation, okay? So Q gives us a little training on the next slide. So Q comes back, Q 306, the day after. So that news story came out on December 8th. December 9th, Q's giving us a little coaching here and says, the news unlocks the map. When I give you things, the future is provided. It proves the past, what was written. And Q says, why did I give you the Lord's Prayer? Which version? Why is it relevant? What just came out in the news regarding the Lord's Prayer? What can be connected? Do you believe in coincidences? Review the map for post-relevant news in the drops. Think about Godfather 3, Q. So again, Q redrops Q154 embedded in Q307. And Q is giving us the coaching. You have to think about markers. You have to learn how to read this map I'm giving to you. And you have to remember the news in the future unlocks the map. Future proves past. And this was absolutely mind-blowing to me that, again, I always kind of think about like flying an airplane, and this right here, I brought it up another 10,000 feet.
Okay, so I will now show you the video that I did. At the time. So I just filmed it, and I'll slow it down actually, so that, because it's just a bit too fast. I had to do it at night time because in the daytime. Okay, so here's the picture. Can you see him there? Well, you can see him quite clearly. He's actually hanging. So his feet are up in the air, and his hands are hanging down, and his ding-dongs hanging down as well. So after I saw that that video on Every Dog, on No Name McCain, and then, when I put it together with him giving the message in the hands of surrender, signalling for the Christchurch attack, you know, I thought, he's actually made a plea deal, as I believe John Kerry did, John Key. You see his feet, you see how his toes are absolutely, I hope you can see, sort of pointed down at that, in a hanging position, isn't it? So I believe that what I thought was bad, because it was just amazing, this whole place, you know, that it's just so disgusting, was an exhibition showing what they're doing to these kids. So now I realise it was probably a reveal. So this is Queenstown, pedophile city. So we have, okay, here we have it, and I'm just going to go. The whole gallery was just all this. So you've got these Cape, these Cape guys. There's only one man there, and it's old Podesta. So why can't I see it? Just want to irritate me. But on the walls, you've got these maps, underground maps of places around Queenstown, Fiordland, showing, wherever it's red, that's a place where they extract the blood of these poor tortured kids and that they kidnap, and and the stars drink the adrenochrome, which is what keeps them young, and that is what it has been suggested that the whole lockdown was about. See the map there of the underground tunnels, and I went and read. So he does this writing on the wall as well, and on the writings he was literally writing exactly how they do it, how they extract the whole lot. So this video's had a heap of views, so you see, and they dress up because this is, it's just too cruel and sick, and this is what the whole movement is for, and this is why Trump has gone through what he's gone through, is to save these kids who are literally bred for this and kidnapped, all the kids that go missing, and it's been going on for a long time. So that is the good news, and I think that it is it's, we're coming close to the end, and this is the new time, the song that has never been sung, when these people, it's over forever, and the world is going to be cleansed. So I hope that made sense to you, and I hope you can look up some stuff, and we'll just go watch this space, and keep believing, because it's all about, and that's what I believe Trump is doing. It's bringing people to a real faith, a faith knowing, that God is in the heavens, God is real, God is, is all powerful, and he loves you, and you don't have to do a doggone thing to deserve it. He just, like Trump, comes as a father to set the children free. So, just as Jesus laid down his life, Trump is doing the same. I thought it was also quite interesting too, that they're talking about that Jonathan Kahn video, talking about the ministry, and after 3 years he was cut off, which is exactly what happened with Trump. He ministered for 3 years, and then after 3 years he was cut off. But hopefully this time he does come back. But as a man, Jesus is now at the right hand of the Father, so he doesn't need to come back again. So I hope you have faith, and if not, just start looking at those heavens and know God is real. God is real. So bless you all in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.